Hello, everyone. We are going to be doing the end of the week spread for orientation week. So if you go to module 3, orientation, go up to the first tab, the 000, and down to the bottom of the page where it says after week orientation spread, the threshold of readiness. So this spread is to be completed at the end of orientation week prior to starting week 1. Again, if you want, all of the tarot spreads are only optional. If you feel like they help you, then do them. If you feel like they're a burden or they stress you out or you just aren't interested, you don't need to do them. You're not missing anything by not doing them, but you are adding to the experience by doing them. And if you remember, on the bottom of the list, there is the tarot spread library, which has a bunch of spreads. And the 000 at the top of the tarot spread library is the tarot spread guidebook. It is all of the cards in the whole deck broken down in a blueprint format, similarly to book 2, just a lot shorter. So there is that as well if you would like to use that as you follow along with the spreads. So card 1, the awareness. And I'm trying to just use a similar-ish to or the original deck for this. It's a little different. It has some different backgrounds, but just so we can kind of stick with what most of you will know the most, okay? So the awareness. What realization from orientation week most shifted how I see myself and this journey? What realization from orientation? Can ask Erin and Bethany about this one. I've had a lot of technical challenges this week of orientation. Day 2, my internet went out and I'm still trying. They're coming out in a little bit to look at my internet box because it's still not all the way better. I got a new router and I updated my internet and it still is not better. So what realization shifted most how I see myself in this journey? Old me would have panicked. I would have shamed myself for not having as much done in the amount of time that I wanted to have it done. I would have looked for some way to blame myself for the internet, which I tried everything I possibly could. I even got like a try whatever internet instead of a dual one. So I was like, oh, this will work. It's one level up. It's going to fix any problem. It didn't do anything. So the old me would have had an entire meltdown, 100% all the way through. But I'm taking it in stride. I'm doing what I can. I'm getting them out here as soon as I can. So what it showed me is that even in a state of overwhelm, I'm not being led by my emotions. And in the past, that's when they would definitely get in the driver's seat and be like, oh, no, you're not driving anymore. We are, as in the emotions. It didn't happen. And if it was going to, it would have. It would have on the second day of internet problems. So, yes. And I also have very good friends now who I didn't even ask Erin to, and she had looked up how to fix the internet before I even got finished my sentence. So that was also very helpful, having support. Okay, so it showed me about myself, and it also showed me about my support system, which is important as well. So card 2, the grounding. What practice, belief, or truth now keeps me steady when uncertainty arises? Yeah, confidence. Yeah. My confidence in my ability to problem solve. I was able to get to this point from problem solving, so it would only stand to reason that my problem solving will continue to be tested so I can continue to evolve it more and more. One second, let me check the internet, actually. We're good. Card 3, the adjustment. What do I need to release, restructure, or clarify before stepping into the deeper work of week 1? The moon in reverse. Release, restructure, or clarify. I did have a big piece of an abandonment wound come up this week, not even because of the course, because of something external that had happened. So I think I need to release the fear of facing it. Because again, it's like this week I was shown you can handle overwhelm, and I was also shown you can handle emotions when you're also already handling overwhelm. Because something that would have tripped me up in the past, I just kind of walked over it and was like, oh. So I think that happened because it was my future self, my higher self spirit saying, if you still fear facing parts of this, we're showing you you're ready. Look at this. So that would be, I need to release any resistance about facing or feeling not ready to face abandonment wound from a different perspective. Card 4, the Anchor. What strength or inner resource emerged that I didn't know I had? Vulnerability. 9 of Wands in reverse. Allowing myself to receive support, allowing myself to vent to my friends and be like, this isn't fair. Allowing myself to be seen being vulnerable without going back and shaming myself or analyzing what I could have said differently or what I could have said wrong, or not picking apart my articulation and things. First and foremost, because I really don't like watching myself back. So that's helpful when you don't want to analyze yourself. It's helpful to already not like watching yourself back. But I didn't have a call to do that or an urgency to be like, oh no, you said that wrong, or that's not. So I think that would be both a strength and an inner resource that I needed to witness. I wouldn't say that I didn't know that I had, but I would say that I needed to witness. Card 5, the gate ahead. What energy, theme, or lesson is already calling me into the next stage of the labyrinth? 8 of Swords in reverse. Release from anxiety about just finally doing it. I'm sure by this point you'll have known this is a long time coming. I've said it over and over, 10 years in the making plus some. So the feeling of finally getting it out there because I finally have the level of understanding in it to do that. No more what if. So what is calling me into the next stage of the labyrinth? There's no more what if. You're doing it now. There's no more what if. Okay, so then the optional reflection prompt, which again, you can do this just writing, just answering, or with tarot. I'm showing you it with tarot. One closing affirmation that begins with, I am ready to walk this path because... thought I was going to get through this without crying. And I have 3 of Swords on the bottom. Because if you can't find the light, you need to be it. And it's important to show others how to do the same. See you in the next one.